Namastu,
Namaste.
which simply means the divinity within me bows or respects the divinity within you. My name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Ka-Hun, Anku Sa Ra. And as always, it is our pleasure to greet those of you who may be joining us through Facebook to come down to historic Baintown any Sunday at 9 a.m. for our weekly Sunday service, or any Tuesday for our weekly True Light Scriptural Study from 6:30 to 9, as we are a teaching church and we encourage you to question those things that you witness us teaching or may have read, etc., etc. For those of you who did make it to historic Baintown, once again we say Namastu.
Namaste.
And how's everybody doing today?
Doing all right.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to begin by saying Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers on Facebook or in the room. Let's give the fathers a big round of applause. And before we dive into it, we're going to ask out there, Minu Brazil, Aminette, to guide us in our supplication for the original books of the Bible. For those of you who have any portion of the original books of the Bible, whether it be Papyrus 1, which I'm holding in my hand, or the Barashit, which is the original books of the Bible, the African book of Genesis, or the Istanjil, which is the book of Revelation from an African perspective, let us hold it high now as we repeat after our dear sister.
Namaste, family.
Namaste.
I am an Atonis Corastian.
I am an Atonis Corastian.
And this is the original books of the Bible.
And this is the original books of the Bible.
It is the ancient African version of the scriptures.
It is the ancient African version of the scriptures.
It is a guidance sent unto me.
It is a guidance sent unto me.
It tells me how to live.
It tells me how to live.
It tells me who I am.
It tells me who I am.
And it tells me what I have the potential to become.
And it tells me what I have the potential to become.
This day I shall learn from it.
This day I shall learn from it.
And that which I learn shall strengthen me.
And that which I learn shall strengthen me.
And with that, I am grateful to Anere.
And with that, I am grateful to Anere. We say Umain, we say Amen, we say Amin, all coming out of the ancient African Amun. As true Christians, we honor our great ancestors, and we know that the Most High Heavenly One always provides for us, whereby we are able to stand today, even in the midst of affliction. Amen?
Amen.
Today's sermon is entitled, They Have Not Known the Father. They have not known the Father. Yes, it is Father's Day, but how many don't know their Father?
That's right.
We live in a day and time where, as our BB, Dr. Francis Crass Relton, speaks of this attack on men, on the black man especially, because of his ability to reproduce and transmit this very potent chemical, this very potent energy, this very potent light called melanin. That makes some people afraid. That makes some people think about their genetic annihilation, especially those who don't have or don't produce much melanin. And so our prisons today are filled with black men. Yes, the black women are there too, but largely the black men. And if they're not making it to prison, in many instances, we're being killed. In many instances, we're being marginalized. And so we cannot function as fathers. I'm not making excuses for men. Let's just be clear about that right now. We got some men who just ain't worth nothing. So I ain't talking with y'all. You ain't waiting nothing. You ain't waiting nothing. You ain't waiting nothing with the white man here or without the white man here. You just ain't waiting nothing. So that's your part of the sermon over. Okay? But for the rest of the men out there, we're trying. Yeah? I want to bring to light some things that we may or may not be aware of. And this love-hate relationship with men. There's a love-hate relationship with men. And as we go through today's sermon, we're going to bring it right home to being down. I want to start with a man that is very much celebrated today. And in America, there's even an entire holiday that this man, the holiday is named after this man. And his name is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And when we hear about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we hear about, well, one speech in particular. Which one is that?
I have a dream.
Oh, I have a dream. They want to keep us dreaming, you see?
Yeah, keep us sleeping.
And we know better than that. We know that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a dreamer. And as a matter of fact, he said to Harry Belafonte, I think I have integrated my people into a burning house. What type of house?
Burning house.
Oh, burning house. You see, in the Holy Qubtic Church, we just suffered a fire.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're grateful for the assistance that we've received from those people who care. And we've taken note of anything else that's been said
Yes.
that wasn't helpful.
Yes.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, we all in this fire together, whether we know it or not. So they'll make us think that Dr. Martin Luther King, that he was loved. How many people think he was loved his whole life? He was a champion, and that's why they gave him a holiday. How many people?
Yeah, they tried to kill him. They killed him.
Not only did they kill the man,
They did.
they recorded the man. And this man was on the terrorist list of the United States until 2008.
Wow.
The FBI saw this man as a terrorist while he was alive.
Yeah.
The U.S. government, as the records reflect, helped to assassinate this man. And now they love him. They love him. They give him a holiday, right? I have a dream, right? It's beautiful. You know, everything is peachy. Everything is, you know, we're going to take a day off. We're going to honor him. And Glenn Beck and them, you know, they tried to take over Washington one year to say they can have something special. You know what I mean? Because they love him. But they didn't really love him.
Yeah.
And they don't really love him now. You understand? So Dr. Martin Luther King is one example of one of these black men that the world has a, I want to say, hate-love relationship with. Because they really hate us. But after we gone and we can't affect the change that they know we were trying to affect, then they love us again.
Right.
Or love us for the first time.
Yes.
And so that's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. out of the United States. And then there's another great barber, a great leader of ours, and he fought hard in his country. He wasn't from the United States. He was actually from South Africa.
Okay.
And he wasn't actually fighting by himself, he was fighting with his wife. He got in prison for 27 years. Diva, who? Nelson Mandela. And this was another black man that the powers that be saw as a terrorist. Held him away from everybody that he knew for 27 years and slowly poisoned him.
Right. That's right.
So when people start talking ill of Nelson Mandela, I'm like, slow your roll.
Yes.
You don't know what they was putting in his food for 27 years.
That's right.
You don't know what they was doing to him. You don't even know if you could have made 27 years.
Come on, teach.
Talk about 27 days or 27 hours. And some people breaking down.
Yes.
27 years. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but I respect the fact that this man was fighting for us.
Yes, he was.
And I respect the fact that because he was fighting for us, they hated him.
Come on.
And then after they manipulated him for 27 years, he was let back into the public, and he became this force of everybody love everybody. And of course, his wife, Winnie Mandela, who's also a hero, or shero.
Yes.
Whatever reason, they have their differences, not our business. That ain't our business, that's their business. She was in prison for 11 years.
Come on.
She was raped, she was targeted, she was beaten. But they never really said that they love her. But she made sure she let them know that I don't love you all the way to her death.
Come on. Come on.
But I'm saying this to say that when you hear about Nelson Mandela today, oh my goodness.
Yes, here.
Oh, they love him. Oh, this man is an example of fill in the blank, whatever they want to talk about for that day. But this was a well-respected attorney, and he was fighting for his country.
Yes.
And they hated him when he was alive. Go back to America, and we learn about another great hero. He was born Cassius Clay.
Yes.
Cassius Clay didn't play. Came into the knowledge of one of our great Babas, Elijah Muhammad. Became a part of the Nation of Islam. Changed his name to what? Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
And Muhammad Ali was not interested in going to the Vietnam War. So they took, during some of the more prime years of his life, they took him out of the boxing scene. And they knew he was the champ, and they knew nobody could beat him. And they were trying to send him to war. And he was very plain. He's like, ain't nobody over there do me nothing. You the one calling me nigga. You the one got your foot on my neck. You the one inflicting me. Why am I going over there to fight other black and brown people?
That's right.
So they hated him. They disrespected him. They disrespected his family. And then he passed away. And at his funeral, Bill Clinton and all these different people, they love him now. Oh my goodness, he's carrying the torch for the Olympics now.
Yes.
In '96 in Atlanta. Oh, but the torch bearer for the Olympics is Muhammad Ali because we love him. And that's what they do. They flip the narrative.
Yes.
When you at your strength, and when you can actually keep your foot on the devil's neck, they hate you.
Yep.
That's right.
You understand? And in hating you, they do whatever it takes to afflict you. Right? Just plug this in for you. And so, Muhammad Ali, if you don't know, if our children don't know, they'll swear that Muhammad Ali was somebody that the United States was in love with. Which is scary because they didn't love him and they don't love him now. Again, there's a hate-love relationship, especially with black men who want to be men. You got plenty men, so-called males, I don't say men, plenty males walking around here now, looking for approval.
Yep.
So now you got all of this cross-dressing and all of this craziness going on. Yes, it's craziness. I don't care if you think it ain't craziness. It's craziness.
Come on.
Huh? You don't think it's cute. It ain't cute.
No, it ain't.
After they finish playing with your children's mind and you start looking for grandchildren, you can look for them same pictures they was drawn on the fridge. That's the only grandchildren you have.
That's right.
Stick figures.
So then I moved to the Bahamas. And there's a man who sits in, it's a book that Vendel Jones published.
Right.
Jones publication published. And they say he's one of the 100, forget the way they term it now, but he's one of the 100 Bahamian, greatest Bahamians or Bahamian heroes, etc. And if all you did was read that book, you would think that the Bahamas love this man his whole life. They speak of none other than my great-grandfather, the bishop, the founder of Church of God,
Yes.
W.V. Eneas. Because a lot of people have a lot to say about the Holy Qubtic Church.
Come on. Yes, they do.
But they don't understand that this is bigger than the Bahamas.
Yep.
This is bigger than Anku Sa Ra.
Yes.
This is bigger than anybody sitting in this room.
That's right.
This is a day and time of reckoning.
Come on.
And in 1910, when W.V. Eneas and his wife Arabella Ferguson Eneas was trying to start the Church of God, people didn't like them.
Come on.
You think they don't like us just because it's the black Messiah? Because it's the black Miriam or Mary? No, this been going on.
Come on.
It's been going on.
Cycle.
When they talk about W.V. Eneas, when they talk about Bishop, oh man, you swear they love him all his life.
Yes. Come on.
But see, when you love people, you don't burn their house down twice.
Come on. Come on.
Twice.
Come on.
Or you thought we forgot.
Come on.
So when you burn down our church,
Yes.
we see you.
Yes. Right.
You understand?
Come on.
At the end of the day, we know you don't love us.
Come on. Let them know.
And it has to do with everything that we're talking about today because they don't know who. The Father.
Father.
So W.V. Eneas and the Church of God, they call them jumpers.
Yes.
These dumb jumpers. Matter of fact, when they left campground in Hospital Lane and they was moving over to Eneas Jumper Corner, see that name Jumper wasn't a name that was used in a good way initially. They call it Eneas Jumper Corner, but Jumper was not a good term.
That's right. The wrong
Because
term.
the people who was watching them didn't understand what they was doing. And so they just went on calling them names. When they moved from Hospital Lane to Eneas Jumper Corner, they danced to Eneas Jumper Corner. They jumped. And they say the people line the streets and name call them. And say, look at them stupid jumpers.
My goodness.
Whatever other nastiness they could say to them, and they ain't worried about them at all. Look at the Church of God now.
My goodness. My goodness.
Huh? 1952, after they said all of that, the little valley gone on the street, the cathedral still sits there today.
Yes. Yes.
My great grandfather.
Come on. Come on.
You understand? And so, if you just read what they call history, and you would swear they love this man
Right?
his whole life.
Yes.
But you don't burn down people's house if you love them.
Come on.
You don't call them and the parishioners names if you love them. You understand? So we know you didn't love him all that time.
Come on.
We put it on record, we know you didn't love him, and you don't love him today.
My goodness.
Because you scoff at his legacy.
Yes.
So last but not least, it's another man. We're going to go to the book of John chapter 15.
Right.
Because this man that they say they love, my Lord, they got thousands of churches dedicated to this man.
That's right.
They got tattoos of this man on their body.
Yep.
They got movies about this man.
Yes.
Huh? People even wear symbols they say is dedicated to this man.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you only listen to them, you'll swear they love him.
Swear.
They can't even get his name right.
My goodness. Teach
They
it.
call him Jesus,
Yes.
Yes.
which is another way of saying Hail Zeus. That's what you're saying. Hail Zeus. Because the man was never named Jesus. But you say you love this man.
Spelling off everything.
Spelling off, country off, color
Everything
off,
off.
doctrine off.
From there.
How you can know the Father and you don't know the Son?
Heritage off.
Huh?
Everything off. Everything.
They make it a point to do this nonsense in each generation.
Yeah.
So every time you read about this man who they call Jesus, you would swear they love him. Matter of fact, people say, well, I was in the time of Jesus, I would have been one of the disciples. I would have been right there. No, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Because if you was one of the disciples then, you'd be one of the disciples
Come on.
now.
That's right.
You would have been living like that. Yes. Come on.
And you don't want to put in the work to learn about who the real and living Messiah, Yeshua Christ, is.
That's right.
And because you don't want to know who the real and living Messiah, Yeshua Christ, is, we know you don't really want to know who the Most High is.
Come on.
We use the word Father because that's what's in this rendition or this scripture. But it's really the Mother, Father, and neighboring. So we're in the book of John. And let's go to down to verse 18. Because when you're doing the work of the Most High, you're hated. Let me say that again. When you are doing the work of the Most High Heavenly One, you are hated.
Yes.
This world is mostly filled with conformists
That's right.
who don't know why they're doing what they're doing and only do it to please people who don't like them in any event.
That's right.
Yes, man.
Yes, men, yes, women, yes, children, yes, adults. But what was happening to Yahshua when he was walking the earth? These same people who running around talking about they love the Messiah and don't know him.
Right.
This he was talking to you. John 15 verse 18, he's talking, Yahshua was talking to the disciples, and what does he say? He said, if the world hate you, see, the disciples realized, hey Yahshua, these people don't like us. No. And they start telling them their stories. Yahshua said, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
Come on.
So when you decide to walk in true faith, understand that you're walking on the path of hated people. You're walking in the path of a hated spirit. You're walking in the path of a hated knowledge, an ancient knowledge that they want to try to water down and bleach.
Yes.
Not around here.
Not around here.
If ye were of the world would love his own. Come on now.
That's right.
That's how we know you don't love Muhammad Ali. We know you don't love Nelson Mandela. We know you don't love Dr. Martin Luther King. We know you don't love Malcolm X. We know you don't love Elijah Muhammad. Y'all don't even pretend like y'all love him now. Huh? You didn't love W.B. Eneas. And you don't love Yahshua.
Come on.
Because they weren't of this world.
That's right.
You understand? This world, the word that they use is cosmos. It's a system. This is what Homer was talking about when they was writing this. But this system that they're talking about, this world, Thomas Hobbes calls it Leviathan.
Okay.
And it is a beastly system, filled with systems, that keeps this craziness we have going, perpetuating in each cycle, each generation, pretending as if they care for you,
That's right.
pretending as if They're feeding you properly when they're giving you poison.
Right.
Pretending as if they're educating you when they're lying to you.
Lying to you.
Pretending as if they're teaching you about God when they're just teaching you about their demon ancestors.
Yes.
Huh? Pretending to you that they got answers for your financial woes, and you got to pay them to figure out how to get money. Huh? Pretending. Like our boss says, pretenders.
Yes.
You do not love Yahshua, because if you're calling him Jesus,
Right. That's right.
you ain't even talking to the real Messiah.
Come on. That's right.
So how you could be loving somebody you ain't even talking to?
Right.
Huh? If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. I'm saying this to you all in here today, especially the ones who came out this Sunday. Because when you all go home to your stinking families, and I can say it just like that.
Well.
Because I love my family too, but some of them stink.
Yes.
And when they start with their nastiness, tell them you're on the path of being hated. Like the real and living Messiah, Yahshua Christ.
Yes.
Not because I call you stinking don't mean they don't love you. But they have stinking family too who I love.
Come on.
I love them so much enough to tell them, you stink. Go clean up. Huh? Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you. Remember what?
The word that I said unto you.
The servant is not greater than his Lord. How you think you're going to be on this path and not be hated?
That's right.
Huh? If they have persecuted me, this is Yahshua. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. Come
That's
on, man.
right. Come on.
If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. In other words, hey, listen to everything you say. Knick-knack round it. You stand upside and tell people you don't eat pork. Just make sure pork at that table to see if you eat it.
Yes.
And the minute you grab it, hey, God, you say you don't eat pork.
Yes.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Huh? The devil. I think the devil on the hot sauce bottle, that's your problem. Devil running through your veins. That's what it is.
My goodness.
Huh? All of us. We got to get rid of this crap.
Get rid of it. That's right.
You understand?
Yes.
Verse 21, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. You don't know the original church. You so busy praising Jesus, you forgot about the three wise men. Who sent them? Who made them wise? Why are they considered wise? Why did they come and look for the child? Where were they coming from? You don't know who sent them. So don't pretend like you love this child that they was protecting. Because you don't. You don't know. It's okay to not know. At least if you don't know, then you can start knowing.
Come on.
You with me?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Verse 22, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. See, because we are exposing truth,
Yes.
you can't pretend like you don't know no more. You can't pretend like you don't know the man's name is Yahshua. You can't pretend like you don't know he didn't come to get rid of no laws. He came to show you how to live the law.
Yes.
Huh? You can't pretend like you don't know you ain't supposed to be eating pork. You can't pretend no more. You ain't got no more cloak.
No.
See, the cloak was, I didn't know that.
Nice.
The cloak was, my pastor said.
Yes.
The cloak was, we used to always do that in church. But now you got this remnant of a church. This ancient Nazarite church.
Come on, teach.
Flying up in your face and saying, that's not what the Bible says. Not even your Bible says
Not
it.
even yours.
Because the Bible ain't the problem. The interpretation, the translation is the problem.
Right.
Verse 23, he that hateth me, hateth my Father also. He that hateth the Holy Qubtic Church of the Black Messiah, this ain't personal, hateth the Most High Heavenly One and Nahiri. Because God is not a name that was spoken in heaven. As a matter of fact, it's a German word, and it goes back to a Hindu deity called Indra. While you're around here being so sanctified. That's who you're calling on. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did. If we in the Holy Qubtic Church hadn't brought you the Eucharist, which no other church brings you,
Come on.
because they teach you cannibalism.
That's right.
They teach you you're going to eat the blood
That's
and
right.
drink the blood and eat the body of some white boy.
Come on.
That's cannibalism. But our Eucharist goes back to Numbers chapter 6, around verse 18, where it talks about these wheat bread
Come on.
and this grape juice, putting you back in alignment with your covenant. But if we didn't do it, y'all wouldn't have known it was something to do.
That's right.
Huh? And then you wouldn't know, hey, maybe what I'm doing is really Hellenistic. That's what the sin is, you know. It's the ways of Zuin.
Yes.
It's the ways of this Hellenistic demon that our people are following today. You want to know why things ain't getting better? Because you calling on adverse forces. Huh? But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. You could walk past a group of people who learning about themselves and call them evil.
Yeah.
You could walk past a church that was destroyed
Come on.
and not try to figure out how to help those people.
Come on.
Because in your mind, oh, that's what God did.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
I got a question.
Which one?
Wow. God passed all the drug houses.
All.
God passed all the strip clubs.
All.
God passed all the arms dealers. God passed all the murderers.
That's right.
God passed all the wicked, crooked MPs out there.
All.
God passed all the wicked, crooked political parties out there. Because they are bad quarters too.
All.
Huh? God passed all of the people out here who don't want us to have our resources
That's right.
in this country. And he find the one place in this country where you can learn about yourself
Come on.
and learn about the true scriptures
That's right.
and learn about how to truly reach salvation, whereby bring heaven to earth instead of trying to go to heaven, whereby you ain't doing nothing for yourself now on earth.
That's right.
God passed all of them places and burned that down. Well,
Lord.
that must be the God of racism, white supremacy.
Come on. Come on. Lord.
Because all of those things help to keep racism, white supremacy intact.
That's right. That's right.
But the Holy Qubtic Church, oh, it's bad for racism, white supremacy. Because we teaching black people, you ain't just black, you got melanin.
That's right.
You got solid light. Go ahead, brother.
I would not to cut you off.
Yeah.
I have to say this, right?
Go ahead, brother.
When the church got back burned down,
Yeah.
I got a friend of mine I've been trying to invite and try to teach
Yeah,
her about atonism.
right.
And I told her our church got burned down, and she smiled, and I was like,
She's smart.
"Why are you
Yes.
smiling?"
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And
She
she's
heard
a
the church
Christian.
burn down and she smiled. Go
She
ahead.
smiled, and she was like, "Maybe God didn't want you." Like, there's another way when I think about it. I was like, "You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
your God didn't want atonism to flourish," and I was.
that's why this was said by Yahshua thousands, over 3,500 years ago. Because people feel that the less persecuted you are, the more closer you are to God.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Still suffering.
The less persecuted you are, the closer you are to God. But that ain't what they're saying. That ain't what they're saying. They're saying they hated Yahshua because he was one with the Most Heavenly One and made right, and he was teaching them about the Hellenistic ways that they had, that they needed to get away from in order to bring heaven to earth. Many will miss salvation because it will be wrapped up with a bow on it. And in the bow will be a big word called work.
Yes.
So they will never touch that bow. They will say a prayer and be done. Let's continue.
Come on.
Verse 25 of John 15. But this cometh to pass that the word might be fulfilled, that it is written in their law, they hated me without a cause.
All the cause.
That's why the church don't burn down, sister. Because they hate us without a cause. But why do they love the white man?
Come on, they don't know.
How about Shah Hotep Todd tells us about the great Baba Elijah Muhammad, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, you know the reason why we as a people love the white man so much? Because he does nothing for us. You think about that. We love those who do nothing for us. So, logically speaking, we must hate those trying to do something for us. Verse 26, but when the Comforter is come, when the Spirit of truth, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. He can tell you about all this persecution too. And ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning. This legacy goes back to the beginning. Our ancestors made an agreement.
Come on.
A genetic agreement.
Yes.
And there's a debt to be paid.
That's right. Don't stop.
So I might as well let y'all know. I don't come here every week, more than once a week, and starting businesses and making sure that we know what we're supposed to be doing because I like you.
Come on.
Football coming on today. What else? The beach ain't going nowhere. It's hot. Yeah, because there's a debt to be paid.
Come on, teach. Yes.
Reason why we're still alive today, we made it through the Mahafal slavery. We made it through colonialization. We made it through all of these different things to get to this point.
Now?
We definitely ain't giving up.
Come on.
But we also ain't going to forget.
Yes.
Many of the people who have gained off of those like Dr. Martin Luther King and Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X and Sojourner Truth, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Hello, Penland, if you want to add him in there, and Surrounded Fox and all of those people who fought for us. Hello, Penland and Surrounded Fox and them, they were Pan-Africanists.
Yes.
Not so quick to hate Africa, but your country, it wouldn't be your country without Pan-Africanists.
That's right.
Huh? They got the pictures with Dr. Martin Luther King and Randall Fox sitting down. You understand? Randall Fox wrote about Marcus Garvey coming here in 1928
That's right.
and speaking down at the Southern Recreation Ground. Garveyites built this country. And all of a sudden, you two, professional or whatever, fill in the blank nonsense you want to bring to love your black self. You wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't people who didn't love their black self. John 16. There wasn't no chapters like that. The story continued. These things have I spoken unto you that ye should not be offended. So, understand that these people can have things to say. And these people don't want to try to deter you.
Yep.
And these people don't want to try to see how what they have to say is going to affect you. And that's why you just smile and keep moving.
Keep moving.
Some days you don't smile and keep moving.
Come on.
You understand? Church burned on Monday, Tuesday we was in the paper.
Yep. That's like
We couldn't set that up. No, sorry.
no.
People still pass me in the street today. Hey, that was a great story. Congratulations. You didn't read the story, but that story was to let you know that the building burned down, not the church.
Not the church. I'm on. I'm on.
It says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. You could say, they shall put you out of the churches. Yea, the time cometh when whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. So when they smiling and saying, well, maybe God didn't want the church to... No, it ain't that. Because God don't test us with evil.
No, it don't.
That's right.
Most High test us with love.
Yes.
The way that the Most High tests you is to present you with facts and present you with scriptures and see if you're strong enough to pick it up.
Come on.
That's how the Most High tests you. Not burning down your house, not burning down your church. That ain't a test, that's the devil. Huh? And these things will they do unto you because they have not known the Father nor me. They don't know who the Most Heavenly One is. And they do not know the lineages, the silsila, the unbroken genetic chain that is fought to liberate them. And that's why every time someone comes to liberate them, they demonize them. And the reason why they demonize those who come to liberate them is because deep down within they demonize themselves.
My goodness.
Deep down within they hate themselves.
That's right.
Deep down within they don't know themselves.
That's right.
That's why the country cannot be managed. Because in order to manage yourself, you have to know yourself.
That's right.
That's why you don't have a strong African presence within the curricula of the education system. You don't have a strong African presence within the actual doctrine and scriptures of the church. You don't have a strong African presence within the government of this country. The only time you could find Africa is when you're on Bay Street, but then you got to cross Bay Street to get up inside that pink house.
Big house.
And you leave the culture on the street.
Yes.
Don't tell me you bring it up there. We see the pictures in the Senate. You know which house you call the upper house? Why ain't no jungle and costumes in there?
That's right.
Go ahead, sis.
It's ironic because when they were formulating the PLP, the government, they went to Ethiopia to Haile Selassie to figure out how to do this.
Wow. L.O. Penland helped to get Nelson Mandela out of jail. So yes, they went to Ethiopia. These were Pan-Africanists. These people don't teach that story. Huh? So the same God who allowed you to have majority day and independence, now you run around here burning down black churches? That make no sense. This has been going on for a very long time. Let's go to Papyrus 1, the original books of the Bible. The 12th scroll, the 71st verse, page 219. This means the Rabbi Kalaku at Kareem, begin all things by way of the Most Heavenly One, and they reign. He is the Creator, the Generous One. It reads, yet with this humanity must rejoice in knowing that by the divine willpower of Eneas, the guardian angelic host do provide for you from within and around you at when?
All times.
So we're being provided for.
All times.
We knew we wanted to open up a Tree of Eternal Life store on the 19th of June. We opened up a Tree of Eternal Life store the 19th of June, 2021. Because we provided for it.
Yes.
So while they watch it, they don't watch everything now.
Everything, you know.
And so it was that just after the great rebirth of Mother Earth and the countless calamities which did befall the preceding stage of humanity, at the end of the universal cycle, the present time cycle, which humanity lives in today, it began. That time period was an era which the Tamarans called Zed Tefi, or the first times, wherein we, the guardian angelic host, incarnated on tar earth in order to guide humanity by initiating as many as were worthy. You can't be worthy if you don't love yourself.
Come on. That's right.
You can't be worthy if you don't know the real and living Messiah.
That's right.
You can't be worthy if you don't know the Most Heavenly One and they rate. If you calling on Zeus, you ain't worthy. If you calling on these pantheistic gods, what they say they trying to do? They trying to bring Kronos in.
Yes.
Huh? Kronos. You know who Kronos' daddy is?
No.
Chaos. You want to channel?
That's what they say. Channeling.
You want to channel
Channeling
Kronos? You can channel in his daddy too. Chaos. And you can channel his son in too. Zeus. We don't even know what we're doing in this country.
But they've been doing it.
And they don't know what they're doing. Some do, but most don't. They think it's cute. You're bringing the chaos in.
Yes.
So we are being initiated, as many of us, among the survivors of the great calamities, into the essentials of the culture and true religious identity within the sacred precincts of the Holy Qubtic Church. We got to get back to our true culture and our true religious identity. But everything that we're talking about has happened. Let's go to the battle sheet. In the 7th scroll, page 118. Because there's a story of an African Noah called Nuak. And the Nuak and Naama clan were trying to warn their people about what was going to take place in their country. He said there was an impending flood that was taking place. There were going to be calamities, etc., etc., etc. Let's see what took place. This is the Robert Culliford Green. Begin all things by way of the name of the Most High Heavenly One and neighbor, who is the Creator, the Generous One. And so it was that the Nuak and Naama group, headed by Nuak, African Noah of that time period's floods, did follow all of the instructions which the 24 elders from amongst the Natural Elohim commanded them to do to the letter.
Instructions.
Follow to the T.
To the I, to the T, to the D, to the A.
Exactly.
They followed it exactly to the letter. Our people can't take instructions.
No.
We smart, you see. We so smart the world upside down right now.
Yep.
So smart, you're dumb.
Yeah. You're dumb like a brick. Only good to hold space.
That's it.
My goodness.
Bottom.
Oh, he being so mean to people. I'm trying to wake you up. The house is on fire, literally.
Come on.
We've been nudging for 10 years.
10 years.
We ain't nudging for 10 more.
That's right.
You don't like it? Turn the channel. Have a nice life.
No more of that.
Verse 8, and they did these things even to the point that they did propagate the Atonis Chorestian teachings, which they held sacred to the people who resided in the city of Enoch, in hopes of awakening some amongst them to the severity of what calamities approached. We can still keep teaching, because we're still trying to reach some of these people in this land of Nod, called Nassau.
Yes.
In this city of Enoch, in this country called the Bahamas. We're going to try to wake some of y'all up.
Yes.
But we ain't going to stick around and drown with y'all. Carrie Christie done been to the UN and asked for the money for the impending flood, you know. Oh, I act like y'all don't know that. I act like y'all don't know the water rising. Been to the UN. I lie?
No.
Yet amongst and within the heart of those wicked inhabitants, where's the wickedness? In their heart of the city of Enoch, there was much doubt. So when you're talking to your family, yeah, they're going to doubt, but they can't go off of hearing. They need to do some research. You're in the information era now. You don't have to listen to anything we're saying. You can actually go and look it up. You understand? There was much doubt concerning the words and warnings which Nuak and those of the Nuak and Naama group did teach concerning the massive flooding which was to occur in the great Nile River Valley, and the preparations for survival which they would have to make, to the point that they did mock them. So Noah was another man that they hated, but now they pretend they love. But they mock Noah. They still mocking Noah today, because the sign that was given to that group was a rainbow. And now it's been hijacked by a group of people who have a death style and not a lifestyle.
Against nature.
Got all the alphabets.
Alphabet gang. You don't have to like it. Just prove it wrong.
Come on.
You don't have to like it. Just prove it wrong. A rainbow has nothing to do with your lifestyle. Nothing. But again, it's a part of the mocking.
Yes. My goodness.
You see how it keep coming back around?
Yeah,
They mocking
the narrative.
the true religious identity. You understand? That's what it's about. And so they mock this group. Verse 10, and these wicked people, as mixed descendants of the Ka-Hun, Kabil, these black devils now, was such that instead of heeding the warnings to prepare for survival, actually hated the Nuak and the Amma group. You see the hate again?
Yes.
This before who they call in Yahshua. This hate goes deep.
Yeah.
This ain't about the Holy Qubtic Church. It's about righteousness' sake.
Yes.
These people just do not want to be told what to do.
No.
You understand? They hated the Nuak and the Amma group, and the abundance which they saw they had in the city of Adam. I stopped putting stuff on Facebook. Because I know y'all can hate if y'all know what y'all didn't burn down. We thought we had all our eggs in one basket. Never that. They hated the Nuak and the Amma group and the abundance which they saw they had in the city Adam, which was within the region of the Nile River Valley, to the point that they actually lied and called their leader, Nuak, a madman and practitioner of divination. They called Nuak a madman and a practitioner of Obia. Huh? We sitting there out in the fire. And some idiot who live around here decide he gonna preach over the statue of Aset Miriam. Oh, this is a house of Obia. I don't ever been to the house of Obia. So first of all, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
Right.
But only people who go to the house of Obia know what the house of Obia is. Because they demonize Obia too, you know. They got you thinking where your power is evil.
Yes.
But we know it's been corrupted. And no, we do not perform Obia.
Come on.
No more than the Most High does.
That's right.
You understand? But that's exactly what they did to the African Noah. Same story. You're literally living in the scripture.
Yes, sir. In the latter day.
You're living in it in the latter day. We end today in the Istanjil, the 19th verse, first scroll. This will be the Lord, the Telugu, the Korean. Begin all things, but where the name of the Most High Heavenly One, and they reign. Who is the Creator, the Generous One? Be thou just, and the covenant shall be reestablished. Live this to the letter. Though they may hate you.
That's right.
Though they may persecute you. Live it to the letter so the covenant can be established. That's why they burn it down.
Yes.
They don't want a covenant to be reestablished.
Yes.
You understand? You can't burn a covenant.
No.
And with these things I, the scribe, disciple Tat Ayahanu, the possessor of the double Asarian transient spirit, was instructed to go forth unto all humanity and inscribe concerning all that I was shown and taught concerning what was to occur throughout countless generations up until and through the new era of mind, when Tar Earth and her inhabitants would once again, through a refining or reformational process, be brought back to the state of Ma'at, which is universal order and the balancement of deeds. You're going through a refining or a reformational process.
Yes.
And this is important for us to know because, again, let's go to Isaiah. Book of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 10. Showing you these things because I know what people are saying. They ain't going to say it to me though. They're going to say it to you. Isaiah 48, what does verse 10 say?
Behold, I have refined thee
Behold what?
I have refined.
What is this word behold? We talked about that with Bahamas the other day. Behold means what?
Oh,
Lo!
wow.
Something amazing is going on.
Amazing things.
Yes.
These people who've been corrupted for over 2,000 years are cleaning up.
Come on.
They're waking up. They want to know who they are so they can manage themselves again.
Yes.
Yes.
They're telling the oppressors, no, you keep your God, you keep your religion, you keep your food. Keep it, keep it, keep it. No thank you. Bye, bye. Come from around there.
Taking you out the
Whoa.
equation.
Taking you out of the equation. That's an amazing thing. That's a miracle right now. Go ahead.
But not with silver.
So, all these people who believe God is just give you money,
That's right.
and the more money you have, the closer you are to God. That ain't what this saying. That ain't how God refines you. Huh? Because that's what they talking about. Hey, they got no money and this what they say, oh, this little church is being done.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part of our refinement.
Come on.
Fine.
Because if we did put a big colossal cathedral, so many fake people would be sitting up in there
Yes. You're alive.
catching AC and
Come on.
free food and all the stuff that they say God has given you.
Yeah.
Prosperity.
Huh? No, but that ain't what this saying. I have refined thee, but not with silver. What?
I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
So you mean the people who in the furnace chosen? Tell your friend that net. Yeah, make sure she read that, please.
I was a bad.
Let her realize. I know, and I'm out of there. I know. Right? We are in the furnace of afflictions. Let's go to Daniel, chapter 3.
Alright.
Y'all pretend like y'all love Daniel too.
Come on. That's right. Come on.
We doing the Daniel fast this month.
Yeah.
We do the Daniel fast. You know what comes with the fast, right?
Yeah.
The furnace.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Huh?
Refining.
Daniel 3. Just jump right down to verse 8.
8.
What do they say?
Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews.
So these Chaldeans, this is who Abraham was told to move away from. These Chaldeans control your religion today. They control monotheism by way of Hinduism. And got all y'all running around here doing yoga and all these different things while they calling you Sudra and Dalit and untouchable. And teaching you transgender and homosexual lifestyle by way of the Hijras. These people was the ones who was after Daniel. The one who you say you love. The one who fast you say you want to do. Let's keep reading.
Alright.
They did what? Verse 9.
They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever.
So you know they gotta wake up your ego a little bit.
Yes.
Hey, king, you so drag. You can live forever, you know. What else it say?
Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image.
Oh, so every time they play the music, you're supposed to dance.
Right.
Every time they play the music, you're supposed to dance. And if you ain't dancing, they know. All right, them said they ain't in tune with our craziness. Ah. Them said put up a black statue. They call it the Black Messiah. That ain't the music we playing.
No.
You just play vampire music. Oh, y'all thought them organs was from the heart?
That's vampire music.
That's straight vampire music. If it ain't vampire music, it's serial killer music.
Serial killer, you don't lie.
Talking about sacred music. Sacred to Dracula.
Yeah. You like that?
That's what they playing. Transylvania music every Sunday. Drive me crazy. I can't listen to that crap. That's why we put up a black one like that. He don't come with that music, I put him up.
Come on, come on.
Kirk Franklin, something. Sergeant Beck, something. Bob Marley, something.
So,
Verse 11 says what?
And whoso falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Oh, so because we don't worship your white God, now you want to throw us in the furnace. Go ahead.
There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon.
Yes.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes.
These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
So we don't worship your gold. We don't worship your ideology. We don't worship your policies. We don't worship your images. We don't worship your scriptures. And so there's people watching and saying, but those people over there, they ain't doing what you decreed, king. See, because every ruler in this land, before they are allowed to rule, listen to how crazy that is. You rule in the land, but you got to be allowed to rule. You have to give an oath, not to the people who voted for you,
right?
But to the queen, her heirs, and successors forevermore.
Forevermore.
Forevermore. What the new baby with this name? It was born the other day. I don't know and I don't care. What's your name?
Lilibet.
See, Lilibet, you spelled it.
Lilibet.
You spelled the Lilibet before she's even born.
Because she was Elizabeth.
Yes.
That was a nickname.
Yes. Then what happened? Nebuchadnezzar in his rage. What do you do?
Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made.
Good. So you ain't doing what I say, because they ain't checking them now. They lying on you. Because if you could tell me the same thing in my face, I know you had bought.
Yeah, fine.
What about 23?
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Oh, they got thrown into the fire. My Lord. Go ahead.
Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto these counselors, Did not we cast these three men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king.
Yeah, we burned the building down. We burned it down. Go ahead.
He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire.
I told people in Vietnam by ourselves. Go ahead.
And they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
Oh my word. So you mean to tell me we still have a church Sunday?
Come on.
That's right.
We still have a store?
Yes.
See, when you read this story now, you know you're reading about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. All of these other so-called Christians reading the story, but they ain't in no fire.
No.
They believe having silver is the way to get refined.
That's right.
Not the furnace, not the affliction. Go ahead, then what?
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Heavenly One, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire.
And what happened?
And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power.
Had no power, and what else?
Nor was a hair of their head singed.
And what else?
Neither were their coats changed.
What else?
Nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
You live in this. Huh? What else?
Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath set his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own.
Except their own God. Worshiping no one else God. Huh?
That's right.
Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill. Because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort.
Come on.
So now this is the warning to the people who have something against the Church of the Most High Heavenly One, and they reign.
Come on. It is spoken.
It ain't us.
Come on.
People say, you don't even look mad. Why would I be mad? And we just live in prophecy.
Come on.
Huh? The book of Genesis chapter 15 says we would be afflicted for 400 years. 400 years is up. So for those who needed the message, that's the message.
Come on.
We ain't going nowhere.
Come
You can't
on.
burn a church down. You can burn a building down.
Come on.
But you can't burn a church down. Now we say Amun.
Amun.
Mosque.
Well.
Be praised. Amun. Let them know. Let them know.
Say, I know you're sending me hot Sunday.